Hello everyone.
Hello.
Today's video is about this. It's based on a suggestion by one of our lovely viewers, which we will paste somewhere in the video here.
Right here there will be a screenshot of the comment where somebody suggested to us that we should give the Pelikan Deckfarbkasten paints a try.
Yes, I know these things from school since you may remember I'm from Germany, my wife is from South Africa. So these are sort of familiar to me. They have changed the design of this over the years ever so slightly, but they are in its essence still the same as they were in the 70s, 80s, 90s.
Could you unbox it for us?
Oh, it's a pleasure for me to unbox it. If I actually find where it opens there. So we got this unit. You see, actually very pleasant to look at. I remember my one I had in the 80s and the early 90s. It was had like a flat lid. It didn't have these indents. Now, how to open this thing?
Yeah, you need to press that down. Okay, bear in mind these paints have been used.
You have to push this
because I really wanted to try them.
So, this is your lot. You have a name sticker.
Okay.
Not so important for adults, but if you take this thing to school with you, you can put your name on it, and the person that steals your stuff always know where it's stolen from. And there you have your cakes. These are, you can take these out somehow. It's always a bit tricky on camera. There you go. You see, those are just basically a plastic thingy with the paints stuck in, and you can actually rebuy these paints individually. So if you happen to paint a lot of blue because you like skies and the blue is running out, you can just go into a shop, put some money on the register, and buy another blue cake, and you do not have to rebuy the whole box.
Which is a really clever system.
It is.
Because
I can't get it back in.
Oopsie. So
it's hard to do this on cam.
Yeah, this is hard to do on camera. There we go. Okay, so when my husband and we were comparing school stories, and he was telling me about these. Now, where I was in South Africa, where I grew up, we didn't do paints like this at school. We always used to get like this weird powder paint that had to be mixed with lukewarm water, and it smelled like porridge, but it actually tasted terrible.
You tried it?
No, I didn't, but we dared somebody else to try it. Yeah. So that paint that we had to mix with powder always came out like really weird and scratchy on paper. It was a weird mixture of stuff. So the only thing comparable that I grew up with that is as close as I can to this is a watercolor set. Now this is typically the watercolor sets you get over there. This is actually a Stadler Norris Club watercolor set, and it's terrible and flimsy.
It looks flimsy. I mean, I don't know if you can hear it. It creaks when you move the flap.
Yeah, and interestingly, you only get this as a result in certain countries when you Google for Stadler Norris Club paints. If I Google it on German Google, this does not exist. They get Stadler paint that looks similar to this. So they're obviously getting a better quality than what they ship off to third world countries. This stupid plastic, they always crack with you just looking at it, in my opinion. And this is always on the most crappiest piece of plastic that splits. And I know several sets doesn't necessarily have to be a third world country that gets this kind of rubbish, but these horrible brushes come with it.
What is this even? Is this
it's like plastic.
synthetic?
I don't know.
Seems to be synthetic.
It's awful. These paints in themselves are actually not bad. They are way better than sets I had when I was growing up, because I always used to get no-name brand stuff where there was barely any pigment in these paints. You can use as little water as you like. The paint would always be nearly non-existent on your paper. So that was the most comparable thing that I could bring aside to what I grew up with in comparison to my husband here.
Yes, I think most companies that do this kind of school supply orient themselves on this one, because this is, in my opinion, the best quality set you can get in this kind of grade.
Not to interrupt you. So, since I said this is watercolor, this is sold as Deckfarbkasten. Could you explain what Deckfarbkasten opaque paint is?
Yes, I only learned this when we were actually preparing this video. For most of my life I knew this kind of thing here as watercolors. There seems to be a difference. On the Pelikan website they say those are basically not really light fast, so if you hang this against the wall at some point the colors will start fading. I assume, since normally you will have paintings like this from school in some kind of folder, binder, whatever, there is no daylight getting to it, so it will be holding a little longer. But they are actually meant to be, well, study grade paints for children in school. So that's the difference between that and watercolor. They also are more opaque. You tried them out briefly?
Yeah, I tried them out briefly. This was my first try with the Pelikan paints. They are, I wouldn't say it's chalky, it just has a very interesting texture.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that they actually take a bit longer to dry than watercolor paint. And also, it doesn't buckle the paper, because this is not watercolor paper. This is just a cheap sketchbook. So that was my first try, and the other day, this one is not finished, so excuse the mess. I was doing this painting of a dog in mountains, and I was using these Pelikan paints, and I must say I actually do enjoy using them. They actually mix really well. They lay down smoothly. Overall, I do actually really enjoy working with these, but like mentioned previously, this is not light fast at all.
No, I mean, obviously I do not have the numbers here. If we would hang this against the wall, it would probably hold quite a while, since again this is very good quality. But depending on where it hangs, you know, depending on how the light gets it, sooner or later it will just fade. We've already been mentioning that there are other companies that orient themselves very much on this. This is one of them. We got this for free as a gift. Let's see if we open this. It looks similar compared to each other. Obviously this one looks like a little nicer design. This one is like a little more bare bones, although I remember my set kind of like this. I think my set had like little square compartments here for mixing.
These pop out easier though.
But that's it. Yeah, you can also pop these out. I'm not sure if you can actually... I think you can probably, if you find stuff like this, also buy them individually.
Okay, well, you can actually take the whole thing out.
Yes.
I wonder if you can actually interchange these.
I don't think so, because these have round bottoms and those have square bottoms.
Do they have a square bottom?
No, they don't.
No,
Wait,
they don't.
Hold on.
No.
But they are too big.
It's this little, these two white plastic pieces there stop it from laying down in there.
So if someone really wanted that, and if they had like a little file, they probably could get a little crafty and mod it. But in all honesty, why would you want?
Okay, these go in there, but they don't stay.
They don't stay.
Oh, I wish I didn't take that. Okay, never mind.
There we go.
Okay.
You tested these both. How do they compare to each other?
This one here behaves pretty much similar to these watercolors here. I think this is more of a watercolor than whatever Deckfarbkasten paints are. Or at least in my opinion. This is supposed to be black, for example. This is the worst color in this set.
It comes out as like grey.
Yeah, it comes out as a grey, while this comes out as a solid black. This is more opaque than this. So I think this is more watercolor.
I probably would assume these just have more pigment than these do.
Oh, that's a possibility. So I mean, they also feel a little bit different, but that's probably just the mixture.
Yes, and you can even get cheaper ones than these. A lot of parents will be faced with the decision what to buy for their children when they go to school. The school will probably recommend these because, again, they are good quality. And the parents are, hey, they all look similar. What's the difference? Is it really such a difference? Is it bad if I get like a cheaper one? I'm just getting my child a cheaper one. Please don't. I had cheaper ones than this one. They are not really good to work with. Your child will probably get frustrated in school. These are really good. It's really fun to work with them. I recommend them, even I'm not really into them. For the longest time I had no idea how to properly use them until a classmate actually gave me a few pointers. So up to this day I never really got warm with these, but if I had to choose, I would use this any day over this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I have done some paintings with these, which I'm not going to show because they're not here. They are not very good. I mean, the ones that I did with this, I mean, I wouldn't say they're good paintings, but you can see at least how the colors work. These, I'm not really impressed with these.
So, and this kind of paper is usually what you are using these on. This is what you can buy for school supplies. If your child is on art lessons, they will probably tell them to get like one of these in some shape or form. This is not Pelikan branded. You obviously also get Pelikan ones. They have this paper. They are a little bit more expensive. Probably the paper is also a bit nicer, although I would not know now. We just had these laying around, so we figured out this would be the best to try these on.
Alright, so you grew up with these. Here's some water for you.
I'm gonna pick this one. So the usage is, well, how you would expect them to be used. I'm just gonna pick the blue one. Am I actually in the frame?
Yeah, let me just move this just a little bit more into the frame. Okay.
Now we're in the frame and now I can actually show you. I kept using too much water with these, so I never really had like much of a good coverage until someone actually told me, hey, you just need to use less water. And then they basically go down like this.
Oh, that's so smooth.
That's very satisfying. And obviously you can add more water, they become less opaque.
Okay, you use dark blue, right?
I use dark blue.
Okay, I'm gonna go with this cheaper one here. And I'm gonna do the same as you, where you basically just mix this up.
If you hear weird noises, that's just me ripping off a little bit of kitchen towel so we can actually wipe our brushes on something.
So I mean, yeah, this one, it feels a little bit different to me now that I know what the Pelikan ones feel like.
I wouldn't say it looks bad.
We can make it look bad if you test the black one for me in the Pelikan set.
Okay.
And then I will do the same.
Alright.
Okay, this one I've been mixing for quite a while. That one you barely have to do anything.
So let's see how Pelikan Black performs towards the other one.
Okay. Mine's grey.
Yep.
And no, I'm not oversaturating this with water. It's just enough to activate it.
I mean, you can see here on my side there is like, I barely wet this pencil? No, this is a brush. I barely wet this brush and there's not really that much water on this cake. And yet you get this very satisfying, very covering black.
No, yeah, this is like the darkest this one can go.
There.
Wow. So I know that this is not the same and this is watercolor paint. I'm going to quickly go with the Staedtler black here. This thing keeps creaking.
Yeah, I hear it. I hope this is also being heard through our microphones because
it should.
It adds to the experience.
Yeah, no, this is... Okay, the Staedtler Black is actually better than what is in this one.
Which I would also expect from that company, since they do not really make cheap things. They are usually pretty good quality.
No, the black here is actually fine.
Yeah, I would say that's absolutely in the parameters of what I would expect.
Yeah, compared to this. Wow. It's not good.
That's really, it should be labeled grey.
Yeah, that should be grey. It's not a good one.
So, we've been playing around with this off camera a little, as you can see. You may have noticed this. This is basically Chinese white, as it says here. And you use this obviously to lighten up some colors for color mixing purposes. I hope I can get this open. Let's see here. Just gonna put some in here. I think what it also does, it makes the already opaque colors like a little even more opaque. Something you would do with gouache a lot. Which we do have a video coming up, stay tuned for that. So I'm just gonna pick something that's pretty dark, like this blue here.
I'm just copying you.
I'm just gonna go out of the way. And you see from the very dark blue, as you would expect it if you add white to it, you get like a very creamy light blue.
That looks nice.
That looks very nice. It's also very satisfying to work.
I think I put too much white in mine.
Well, you get a very nice off-white grey color now, grey-blue. It's basically, I think this would make a good sky color in certain situations. It's like an overcast sky.
Or you can do clouds.
Yeah, you can also do clouds with this, yes. It's very... sorry, we're playing around a bit now.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do we have anything else to add?
I'm not sure. I mean, you can see we're playing around with this a lot now. That's what these are actually meant for. Those are, I mean, when I say they are meant for children, that obviously doesn't mean that adults like us can't have fun with it. But they are designed for school, for children to experiment, just have fun with it. That's something I never understood in art class, when I sometimes would have wished they would have given us more guidance about technical things, while the teachers were always like very careful not to interfere too much with it, which is something I can understand and also appreciate now as an adult. And I think this is what this has been designed for. Just to play around, have fun, explore.
Make pictures.
Make nice pictures. That's a very nice one.
Yeah, it's okay.
You always say it's okay. That's artists. They always underestimate their own work. I, as a viewer, say it's very nice.
Thank you. And I hope I finish this one sometime. It's almost done. Just a few more things need to be done on it.
It looks already very nice.
But yeah, this was done with these Pelikan paints here. I mean, you can even see the colors that I mixed with previously.
Which I think is the best use of these paints I have seen in my entire life, even in school.
I think these are good like for color studies and stuff. Obviously,
Yes.
don't hang the art on the wall because it's not color fast.
You will not have a good time.
But since mine are in sketchbook, they hardly ever going to see the light, so that will be fine.
So yeah, last words. Well, those are somewhere in between watercolor, gouache colors. I already teased it a bit. We do have a big gouache video coming out in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that if that interests you. If you want to play with paints that you don't want to break the bank, but you still want great quality, it's a recommendation. Get one of these, have fun.
Yeah, I recommend these because I had so much fun with these. If I had these as a child, I would have been so happy.
Yes, and parents, don't cheap out on this. Please get your children, when they are going to school, one of those. They will have a lot more fun, a lot of better time than they will have with a cheap one.
Yes. So yeah, that's thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up from me.
Thumbs up. And yeah, that's all we have this week.
So we thank all of you. We thank for the suggestion that we actually should get one of these and review it, because it was a very fun video we made. And yeah, please keep the comments coming. If you know anything that we could review, that we could show off, just leave it there.
Yeah, just leave it there and we most probably will review it.
So thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Every watch helps. And we wish you a nice weekend, a nice week, wherever you are. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a great time.